Most people spend their entire lives reacting to everything around them. They react to criticism, rejection, setbacks, disappointment, and the opinions of people who may not even matter in their lives. As a result, they never experience true freedom because their emotions are constantly controlled by external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius believed that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind, and the moment you stop allowing the outside world to dictate your inner state, you become powerful in a way that few people ever understand. You become calm when others panic. You become disciplined when others lose control. You become mentally unshakable. Today, we will explore 10 Stoic rules that can help you develop that kind of strength. Rule number 1 is to focus only on what you can control. Most suffering comes from trying to control things that were never yours to control in the first place. People waste enormous amounts of energy worrying about other people's opinions, regretting the past, fearing the future, stressing about the economy, or obsessing over whether someone likes them. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when you clearly separate what is within your control from what is not. Your thoughts, your actions, your character, and your choices belong to you. Everything else is outside your authority. The more energy you invest in things beyond your control, the weaker and more frustrated you become. The more attention you direct toward your own actions and decisions, the stronger and more effective you become. Rule number 2 is to stop seeking validation. Many people spend years chasing approval from others. They want to be liked, respected, admired, and praised. They shape their behavior around the expectations of the crowd and become dependent on external approval for their sense of worth. Marcus Aurelius warned against this trap because approval is unstable. People's opinions change constantly. Someone who praises you today may criticize you tomorrow. If your confidence depends on the opinions of others, your confidence will always remain fragile. True confidence comes from self-respect. It comes from knowing that you acted according to your values, regardless of whether anyone noticed or approved. Rule number 3 is to accept discomfort voluntarily. Modern society encourages people to avoid discomfort whenever possible. We seek convenience, entertainment, and instant gratification. The Stoics took the opposite approach. They deliberately practiced discomfort because they understood that comfort creates dependence, while discomfort creates strength. By occasionally choosing the harder path, waking up earlier, exercising when you don't feel like it, practicing discipline and resisting unnecessary pleasures, you train yourself to remain strong under pressure. When real difficulties eventually arrive, you are not shocked by them because you have already prepared yourself through voluntary hardship. Rule number 4 is to never take things personally. One of the greatest sources of unnecessary suffering is the tendency to interpret everything as a reflection of ourselves. In reality, most people's actions have very little to do with you. Their behavior is often a reflection of their own beliefs, fears, insecurities, frustrations, and emotional struggles. When someone is rude, critical, or dismissive, it often reveals more about their internal state than it does about your value as a person. The moment you stop taking everything personally, you recover an enormous amount of mental energy. You stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. Rule number 5 is to control your reactions. You cannot control every situation that happens in your life, but you can always influence how you respond to it. This is one of the most important lessons in Stoicism. A calm response is a sign of strength. An impulsive emotional reaction is often a sign of surrender. Every difficult moment presents you with a choice. You can react automatically and allow your emotions to take control, or you can pause, think clearly, and respond with wisdom. That choice shapes your character and ultimately determines the direction of your life. Rule number 6 is to expect challenges before they arrive. The Stoics practiced a technique known as negative visualization. They imagined obstacles, setbacks, and difficulties before they happened. This was not done to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. When you expect life to be easy, every challenge feels like a crisis. When you understand that difficulties are a natural part of life, you remain calm when they appear. Prepared people stay composed because they have already considered what could go wrong and how they will respond. Unprepared people panic because reality has violated their expectations. Rule number 7 is to learn to be comfortable alone. Many people fear solitude because it forces them to confront themselves. They constantly seek distraction, noise, entertainment, attention, and validation from others. Yet solitude is where self-mastery begins. It is in moments of silence that you learn who you truly are. If you cannot enjoy your own company, you will always depend on the company of others for your happiness. The Stoics understood that a strong mind is capable of finding peace, both in the presence of others and in complete solitude. Rule number 8 is to let go of what you cannot change. Many people suffer not because of what happened to them, but because they refuse to release their attachment to it. They replay old mistakes, hold on to resentment, and cling to situations that no longer exist. The past cannot be changed, no matter how much time you spend thinking about it. Holding on to anger only extends your suffering. Sometimes peace arrives not when circumstances improve, but when resistance ends. Letting go does not mean approving of what happened. It means accepting reality and refusing to allow it to continue controlling your life. Rule number 9 is to train your mind daily. Mental strength is not built in a single moment of inspiration. It is developed through consistent practice. Just as physical strength requires regular exercise, emotional resilience requires daily training. Reflection, discipline, awareness, gratitude, and self-examination are habits that gradually transform the mind. Small improvements repeated consistently over time create extraordinary results. The strongest minds are not necessarily the most talented minds. They are the minds that have been trained through repetition and discipline. Rule number 10 is to remember that everything passes. This simple truth has the power to transform the way you experience life. The difficult seasons pass, failures pass, criticism passes, embarrassment passes, uncertainty passes. Even success and pleasure are temporary. Everything changes, everything moves, everything eventually fades. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this reality constantly because it reduces fear and creates perspective. When you understand that every challenge is temporary, you stop treating temporary problems as permanent disasters. You become more patient, more resilient, and more capable of enduring hardship without losing your peace of mind. Ultimately, becoming mentally unshakable is not about achieving perfection, gaining status, or possessing extraordinary talent. It is about developing the ability to remain calm regardless of circumstances. It is about refusing to surrender your inner peace to external events. The Stoics understood this truth thousands of years ago, and it remains just as relevant today. In a world filled with distractions, emotional triggers, and constant pressure, these principles offer a path toward clarity, strength, and freedom. If you practice them consistently, you will gradually discover that fewer things disturb you, fewer opinions control you, and fewer setbacks have the power to break your spirit. That is the essence of Stoicism. If this video helped you, follow us and join our community for more Stoic wisdom. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like the video and support the channel. If someone in your life needs this message, send it to them and tell us in the comments, which Stoic rule do you think is the most important today?